Game 1.
Yeah, as you mentioned, we have a 60-card list here from our Sacred Beasts user, Sacred Beasts Blitzclique as well.
User, okay.
Duelist, I don't know.
Well, both, actually.
But I find that really interesting because I think the Genesys format promotes the idea of a lower
Totally,
card
yeah.
For, you know, because it takes a lot to fill up that with non- or low-pointed cards.
100% agree. That it's even possible to get a 60-card deck while still being in the 100-point total is madness. And we do see one of the ways how Sam is able to get multiple level 4 monsters onto the field. This feels like Gladiator Beast days all over again. And we do have the Elemental Hero Prisma.
It really does. What an interesting... that's just such a cool way of getting your meters into the field. I have a friend who is a big fan of the Archmage stuff and of heroes. If he sees this, he's going to go insane.
And yeah, we're playing all Exceed monsters in the extra deck, as of course this deck would always do, as it is an Exceed-based strategy. But then there is the one fusion monster which we have just revealed there, the Archmage, the Arcturus. I'm wondering, do you think we can even summon that? Probably not, right?
I don't think so. I think it's there purely
just
for
this,
the
right?
Prisma. Also, just noticing how powerful that Prisma engine is. It's all there's 3 copies of a hero lives, there's the Prisma, and then you can shuffle back the Prisma with the media to summon it. You can use that more than once. You can keep doing that. That's insane. I love that tech.
Yep. And oftentimes you would be bringing out another Power Patron, but as this is the DoomZ deck, this is going to be the DoomZ Power Patron, and there is one Prisma. Enabling this is actually straight up hilarious.
Absolutely. We see the Doom's Diacturus here as well, the other Diacturus available to us, and then ranked up immediately into Doom's, I believe it's called 12 Graflario.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazingly powerful set of cards here from the Doom strategy. Gonna see how the rest of Sam's turn plays out here, as he is going to be summoning the Doom's 12 Drastria from hand as well. 12-0, sorry.
I don't know the numbers. I will always go with Drastea, but now we are going to use the effect of Graflario as well. With the Drastea still waiting in hand, of course.
Interesting.
Ooh, searches for DoomZ Raiders. This, once again, just it feels like Genesys really makes the players find new ways on how to get access to their engine, and therefore we're finding crazy combinations. At the very moment, I'm not aware how Sacred Beast, Blitzclique, like those two engines are tunneling into each other, but maybe Richard is going to give us a view into that, an outlook into that.
Yeah.
But here we can immediately, with the very first turn on Sam's end, see how well the, for example, Elemental Hero Prisma is bridging into your DoomZ package.
And here we see the summon of the Alara here as well, the Doom's 7/7 Alara. Very powerful card as well. I think it is a starter in and of itself in the strategy. So we see the activation of the Doom's Raiders, summon the Alara, summon the Amalth as well. Even more ways to get into your plays here.
That is correct. And I hope we're going to see it later on as well. But me, as a fellow Shark enjoyer, I gotta mention that there is Shark cards in his DoomZ deck, as well as there, of course, is the Surfacing Big Jaws together with the Drake Shark. So we're just finding a bunch of ways to get 2 level 4 monsters onto the field and then pop off with our DoomZs. Ooh, Springen's Merrymaker.
Ooh.
Sargas. So that is a signal that we do still have space in this deck to also include the Regulus.
Such a powerful card as well. It's one of those cards where if you can slot that into your deck somewhere and you don't mind it, I wouldn't even call it a brick as such, it's just not combo. Because you can just summon it so easily and it just insulates your players. It is an interaction during the opponent's turn. With the right setup, it can be taken back from the graveyard as well, depending on what deck you're using. It does so much for so many strategies that can just have machines in the graveyard.
Yeah, and all the Exceed monsters of the DoomZ archetype are machines, and additionally to that, the one main deck monster that also is a machine is the Power Patron DoomZ, and that's why we are able to immediately get that Regulus onto the field here, and we can therefore make sure that a card that is not very popular in Constructed Advanced right now, but decently popular in the Genesys environment, the Nibiru the Primal Being is not really a factor here anymore, as we would have the Regulus to negate it.
Absolutely. We see the Doom Dirge being activated. Doom Dirge, is that the right word? I think it is.
It is, yeah.
Being activated here from hand as well. Very powerful card as well. You do have to pay a cost of life points each standby phase. These cards are active. But these...
That's fine.
No, that's fine. But they help you sort of to rank up your Doom's monsters into stronger, much more powerful Xyz monsters for the end of the turn.
And also Doom Dirk is so good of a going second card as well, because it doesn't really require to be equipped to a DoomZ monster. You can just equip it to an opponent's monster when they have built their field, and then you can just say, hey, destroy the monster, and well, that works against the opponent's monster then, which is insane.
Absolutely. Very powerful card going first and going second, as I think Doom's is just a great deck for that. We've seen it's able to play through so many interruptions in both this and Advanced Constructed format.
That's true, and also something I want to note here, both players on a remarkable 10-1 record, so I think both of them should have a really decent shot at making it into the top 8 here of our Genesys Championship, even if they do not end up winning this round here.
Absolutely correct. We see the Doom's Change coming down here as well. Has a bit of a Fire King-like effect of being able to destroy a monster from your hand or deck as well as opposed to on the field. And I think they do have a lot of similarities with Fire King in that they have effects when they are destroyed as well as they are summoned.
100%, and shots, don't give our viewers ideas. I can already see the Fire King DoomZ Genesys deck profile coming in.
I'm shocked no one's played that yet, truthfully.
That's true. Okay, that is the DoomZ Destruction being sent into the graveyard there, which easily we will be able to recover later on as well. And, well, the Blitzclique and the Sacred Beast, they both kind of want to surge, so getting that card onto the field may be a huge issue for Richard here. In general, those 60-card combo piles, of course they need to access those other parts of the deck, as you are only seeing 6 cards in total when going second of those 60, so that's 1/10. So yes, you need to search, obviously, to get to the rest of it. And there is DoomZ Destruction in our hand now.
Absolutely. That wonderful effect of the Doom Destruction as well, being able to essentially draw a lock bird or even like a deck lockdown more than anything, does so much to stop your opponent being able to play. There aren't that many decks that can play around it, especially I think in the Genesys format.
That's true. For now, there's not even an Exceed monster on the field, though. Like, the DoomZ Destruction needs to, of course, be targeting an Exceed monster that you control, the DoomZ Exceed monster, to be precise. But, oh, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, we hold that for so long. But here, that I think kind of forces the Regulus negate immediately trading with that, because that might be our only way to bring an Exceed monster onto the field.
I think you're just allowing it to go. I think the Drastria can also...
Oh yeah, it can rank up on the opponent's turn,
yeah.
You're right.
So there's not just that, but it is very unfortunate for Sam here having to essentially choose between which of the cards he wants to have on the field here. But we do see the Drastria being indicated to here, I believe ranking up with that Doomderg equipped to it into the Drastrius.
Still worked out in the end, so we are good in that department, so our DoomZ Destruction will be able to activate. But Richard, let's see whether he still thinks this is possible. He is a fantastic deck builder and has had huge success with the Monarch strategy, usually in the Genesys tournaments, for example at YCS Dortmund, but is now onto new territory with the Sacred Beast Blitzclique deck.
We do see one of the... that is Seventh Ascension.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I would have expected that card in the other deck, but not in this one. But with chaining the DoomZ Destruction directly, resulting in Richard just simply sending that card to the graveyard without it doing anything.
And then we see the Surge Blitzclique activated here as well to, I believe, target the Regulus to destroy, which does, again, it just contests it. It's either removes it from the field or it's going to, well, it's gone for the field either way.
Well, just this simple interaction there is once again showing us how powerful Blitzclique is going second, right? You like to start off your own things, you're destroying opponents' cards. Okay, yeah, well, I destroy yours to get my thing onto the field. Like, how good is that? Just by actually establishing your own field, destroying opponents' cards. But was, of course, here denied by Sam just chaining that Regulus to it.
Absolutely. We do see another Ghost Ogre in hand here, though. So here we see the Grain targeting that Doom's destruction here as well. Going to be very powerful play if this does resolve. Not sure if Sam has a way to negate or stop that in some way, but that will allow Ricard to keep playing as well.
We do chain the Drastrius to it.
Sending the Dooms Raiders there as well. Summoning the Grain and destroying that destruction.
So, Drastrius only interacts with monster effects on the field or in the graveyard, but as soon as the effect on the field is activated, we can now chain Drastrius and we can attach the material to negate that effect, and then you can even equip a face-up monster your opponent controls to it as an equip spell. But seems like that was not the case here, as we destroy it instead.
Absolutely. You mentioned about having the 7th cards in the Dooms deck instead. I think they do work perfectly well in the Sacred Beast deck because you don't necessarily want to be summoning that much from the extra deck either way. So we do see the 7th Chakyon coming down here, revealing, let's have a look, the number, I think 108, I'd like to say on that, to grab a level, I think that's a 9? Maybe an 8, I'm not sure, from the deck to the hand.
We are going in and we're searching a kaiju with it. That's madness.
Goodness me!
So we have in fact revealed...
I don't know what this does for Ricardo.
Number C. We revealed number C107.
There we go.
Richard throws down the kaiju over the Drastrius.
But then...
We're passing? I think we're passing.
He has a Ghost Ogre in hand now. That's the unfortunate thing. So at the very least, you can try and keep Sam off of any more plays, but there wasn't any way here to keep playing with his own strategy. Actually, I don't think Sam even knows what Ricard's on at this point.
Fair. Very fair. Here, Medius the Pure is still in the graveyard for follow-up. The DoomZ Power Patron is put back into the deck, enabling it to be special summoned out again by the Medius. But we don't even need to do that as Richard has picked up his deck before that could ever even resolve. But even though we didn't get there, that was still pretty well done by Richard. Actually, just with the activation of the 7th Ascension, baiting Sam into activating the DoomZ Destruction, which seems like a very obvious thing to do as you just deny the search of the 7th Ascension. But with that, getting the card face up so you could target it also with your Blitzclique cards, and therefore well done by Richard, even though he did not win this game in the end. But yeah, 60 cards, like how? What are we doing? I just realized we were wondering earlier, because there is Shaddoll cards in his extra deck.
Yes.
In general, let me count 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 7 fusion monsters in his extra deck. Of course, yes, the Sacred Beast card is going to account for a couple of that, but...
I've just spotted an insane fusion monster in the extra deck there. The first one we see on the screen. That's a Roid monster.
It is. Super Vagroid mobile base is in his extra deck, actually, which is insane. But we're having ways to bring those out beyond just simply going with our Sacred Beast cards, because there is heavy polymerization in his deck as well.
Had not noticed that. Very good point there, Basti. Yeah, that's fantastic. Goodness me. I'm so happy there's the Super Vehicle mobile base there, because the original Roid archetype is one of my favorites from GX, and it's nice seeing it get truly any level of representation here. We see the opponents, I think, finishing up siding and cutting each other's decks here. So I think we're about ready to move on to Game 2.
And in this second game, it of course is now Richard going first. And that is honestly what we have all been waiting for, to see what this big combo pile, this 60 card deck is able to produce. So Richard, we're all your guests now. Run the show and run us through what your cooking has led to here for this Genesys Championship in Brussels. Possibly, of course, enabling him a way into the finals of this tournament, where when he gets into the top 2 spots, spots, he would book a ticket to Japan. It's not the World Championship of the TCG, but it is still to Jump Festa, so I think he won't be mad about it.
Really cool.
Right?
I'd love to go to Jump Fest. That is such a wonderful thing to be able to do. We see a handful of interesting cards here. And that is a very interesting one indeed we're seeing over here. That is the... what was it called?
Card of Soul, I believe. Card of this Soul, yeah, exactly. And that card, basically with the release of Sacred Beast, now all of a sudden got popularity again. A card all the way from the Dark Illusion, so quite an old card. And people now, it's fun always when people are digging out old cards and realizing, hey, this actually in this deck is like a superb search that we definitely should be including, because you just look at the deck, and if you do, you can add one monster from your deck to your hand whose sum of attack and defense equals your life points. So easy math. I know we're all Yu-Gi-Oh players and not math experts, but 4,000 plus 4,000 for your Sacred Beast monsters always will end up being 8,000, which of course your starting total in the Yu-Gi-Oh game is also for the Genesys format.
Absolutely. So we always add I think the Hamon here, which then can discard itself to add the Sacred Beast released. It does so much for the... I found the Sacred Beast strategy so interesting. I need to learn this deck better and play it myself because it looks fun. The GX fanboy in me sees this deck being played with the Roid in the extra deck as well, and I'm just having a wonderful time discarding the Whisker here as well.
That's interesting to see.
Yeah.
So we have added 3 Sacred Beast monsters with the release with different names from the deck, and then discarded 2 cards. We were thinking quite a while on the second discard. The one was one of the Sacred Beasts we searched, and the other one then ended up being the Whiskers. But here we keep on going, and that is, in my opinion, maybe the most powerful card in that new Sacred Beast deck, and that is the Sacred Beast Thunderclap, which is that continuous spell, which now just places 2 Sacred Beast Thunderclap from your hand, deck, and their graveyard face up on your field. So out of 1, you just made 3.
Absolutely. Does such a good job with the strategy as well. It's thematic as well, because it is all about sort of tributing spells, tributing traps, and getting 3 of them on the field to be able to do so. So very thematic for the archetype as well. Seeing that activate, seeing that field spell as well is mental.
Oh yeah, the Fallen Paradise of the Sacred Beast. Up to, not once, not twice, thrice per turn, you can send 3 other cards of the same type, monster, spell, or trap, from your hand or field to the graveyard. Then you can special summon a Sacred Beast monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard, or banishment, wherever you like, essentially.
Absolutely. We see the Summoner of the Sacred Beast being activated there as well. I find that card fascinating as well, because that's the creator on that, of the card art. Sure. I didn't know that was involved with the Sacred Beasts.
Ooh.
That's interesting.
That's cool.
So we do see the 3 of those summon, which will allow us to tribute, and we see a 7th Ascension here as well.
Wow.
Are we going to be able to access both of our engines in this game?
We search for 7th Tachyon first of all, but that is going to lead to more, quite obviously. And we also have established, it's not the old Raviel, but it's the new form of Raviel that is chilling there on the field right now, which is still cool enough. Just saying that name out loud already makes me happy.
Absolutely. Infinity of the Sacred Beasts, Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. Long names on them. Oh. Well deserved, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And it is being joined now by Hamon on the field. So that was through the field spell effect that we just explained. We sent all 3 of those Thunderclaps to the graveyard to then get access to the second one of our big Sacred Beast monsters.
That we do. They themselves have such... Oh, we've seen the bit with the Primal Being! He's dropping the rock on the field, removing Ricard's plays and leaving him with a rather chunky token and not much else by the seams of things. And we do see him, I think... Is that passing turn after that?
I mean, we still have the 7th Tachyon, so surely we do something with that. But Sam showing that he is super comfortable with the matchup, waiting for the exact right moment, getting maximum value out of the Nibiru. But still, I think we cannot deny everything that Richard is trying to do here.
You know what? He keeps on playing. I thought he was gesturing to pass turn, but I don't think he was. Clearly not, as he's still playing. The Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, is back onto the field, has a powerful effect in and of itself. You can tribute 2 other Sacred Beast monsters. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do this, card gets 1,000 attack for each card destroyed. We don't have those on the field currently. We may have a way of getting to those soon.
That's true, and that was brought back onto the field through the effect of Summoner of the Sacred Beast. Could just be banished from the graveyard to bring back a Sacred Beast monster from your graveyard, except a level 8, but luckily enough, Raviel is a big boy, he's a level 10.
Absolutely. We see the 7th Tachyon revealing the giant hand here, adding a level 4 Earth Monster, which is, I think, Crackle, or maybe both Crackle and Surge, but at least it's one of them. Yeah.
It's a Blitzclique card for sure, and it is Surge. There we go. We go in, and maybe we can still put up a decent combo field. And I mean, those decks, those pile decks, they're always really, really good in playing around Nibiru, because your first engine already is checking the Nibiru at some point, and it got to some degree denied, of course, by the Nibiru, but now afterwards you can still continue to play, and goodbye Nibiru, as this time there is no answer from Sam to hinder this Surge from resolving. And well, our first field spell has done its job, so we can just keep on running away with it, and we do activate our second field spell, which is, of course, the Blitzclique field spell, the Hide in the Sky Kulum.
Absolutely. And now destroying that with Grain as well to summon it to the field. It is one of those, like you say, one of those strategies where you're trying to work through those interruptions with one engine. It's not necessarily that you're trying to make one engine to be part of your field at the end of your turn. You'd like that. You don't always need that if you have access to both engines in hand here. And we do see the summon of the Emmy as well.
Emmy Blitzclique has destroyed the token that was given to Sam. Sam with a glimmer of hope, another monster on his side, but nope, taken away here again. And now, after already having that big Sacred Beast combo, it feels like we're now just going to go full combo on the Blitzclique end as well. Arguably, the Sacred Beast combo is a little more impressive because there's bigger monsters, more power coming out of it. But still, just the setup that Blitzclique is giving you is really, really, really layered and good as well. So when we establish that, that still feels very much good enough, to be honest.
Absolutely right. We have the Whisker here being summoned to the field as well, which, again, is such a powerful interaction to negate effects from your opponent's monsters as well. I don't think we have anything live for the Raviel effect, unless I'm much mistaken, but there may be a way of getting that during the opponent's turn. I'm not sure on that front, but we do see the Breakaway being activated here as well, by the looks of things.
Honestly, give that man a prize already. That's a crazy deck to bring. 60 cards. How did you even manage to fit that all in there? 3 sad cards together with the Whisker already on the field, and the Alternator also chilling up there. But Sam, to be fair, only invested on 1 card. So he is going to play with 5 cards into this, which does seem possible when there are cards like Darkhold and such around.
Absolutely. And again, 1 card for a lot of potential interruptions is not a bad trade in the slightest here, but still start off with a 5-card hand. I don't think we've seen any of Sam's hand here, keeping it very close to the chest and face down on the map by the looks of things. So just waiting to see.
Maybe a Kaiju Slumber, because Kaiju Slumber is a very popular card in Genesys, and that would be a good one to find here. He's also siding copies of that. We do have a Kaiju-related card, but it's not the Slumber, but it's instead a real Kaiju that is just being summoned a regular way here.
Gardala, the Mystery Dust Kaiju, being summoned to the field here, having just remove that main threat that we could see at the very least from Ricard's field, and now summoning the Power Patron at DoomZ, or DoomZ Power Patron rather.
Yep, that's what it is. And we got the Drastea as well, just right next to it. And Richard needs to react to this, because Drastea, arguably the most powerful main deck monster of the DoomZ deck, so you don't really want to get that onto the field. So Richard is really contemplating whether he needs to respond to this. Oh, could this be... Ooh.
That is one of the Sacred Beast traps, I believe.
It is. It is Sacred Beast Combined Assault, which we're going to chain to that. Able to splash summon a Sacred Beast monster from hand or graveyard in defense position, and that's how we get the Uriah back onto the field.
Uriah has one of those effects which your opponent can't respond to, which is crazy. It's insane having that on a monster. It's a powerful effect as well. I believe it just banishes one of your opponent's spell traps, but it just means your opponent can't activate them or do anything with that.
That's true, and also, if you bring back something with Sacred Beast Combined Assault, and then control 2 or more Sacred Beast monsters, whose original level are 10, you can negate the effects of 1 face-up card your opponent controls.
And we did see Sam scooping up the game there, giving it to Ricard. That was, understandably so, that was a huge field to be able to deal with 1 card down in hand. Did his best there, and I think didn't set a foot wrong there. It was just a huge amount of pushes and engine from Ricard's hand there as well.
What a deck, what a brew. But now Sam again with almost measly number of only 40 main deck cards will be able to go first again, which of course does mean though that his deck is going to be pretty consistent in the end, right? So consistently getting access to those DoomZ extra deck monsters seems pretty nice. I hope we're going to see some shark shenanigans here, and then I'm curious whether that is going to be a side. And in Genesys, there is not many counter traps, as the Solemn cards are pointed pretty heavily. But we still have found a counter trap which is able to be used, which is Debunk, which is running in his side deck. So is there a lot of... I mean, wait! Of course there's a lot of hand effects at Blitzclique. It's amazing against Blitzclique, I just realized. Yeah, that's mental. That's good.
Very good. It's only at 2. I actually am not sure of the point total on Debunked, if it has any at all, but it is only at 2 in the side deck. But we, I think, are just... considering our siding options here for both players as well. Interesting to see what they do side in. I think I did see Ricard siding in something which I'm not at all surprised by. I think it was Typhoon, which is a very powerful way to stop your opponent's plays during their turn. If you do... I think this is the issue with the 60-card deck, is it does give you a lot of ceiling, but also that lack of consistency in seeing the cards that you perhaps want to see at any given time.
Especially post-siding. I think we talked about that on Friday already as well. When you are having those 60-card decks, of course, the side decking process becomes a lot less important because you are just going on average to see way less of those cards that you're siding in just by the pure nature. And I'm good enough with maths, but I know that drawing a card from your deck in a 60-card deck is less likely than in a 40-card deck.
I mean, this was the whole logic years ago of allowing people to use Upstart Goblin for a 39-card deck. That's the whole point behind that.
Absolutely.
But we do see both players starting to shuffle up and go over to the final round here, the final game of the final round of Swiss of the Genesys tournament.
Here we go, one more game to be played before we're heading into top 8. Both players decently likely to make it no matter what the outcome of this match is. Still getting out here with a win and already asserting dominance over the other opponent, which you might meet again then in Top Cut, is of course what both are aiming for.
I've also, complete side note, just noticed the irony of using Sky Striker sleeves in Genesys. But we do see the North Summon of Alara here. Again, very powerful card, able to start off our DoomZ plays. To grab, I believe it's the DoomZ, the Adrastria from the deck to the field, rather, sorry.
Yeah, immediately getting it set onto the field. Probably going to be activated just after, though, and there we go, equipping it to the Alara.
Does allow for more play.
Oh, finally! The Shark Party is starting, surfacing Big Jaws as we have activated that spell card. Just there, we're able to special summon it out onto the field for free.
Absolutely. Able to also grab the Drake Shark from the deck, which has I believe a Poplar-like effect, where when it's added to hand, can then summon itself to the field, like Poplar, like Crowley, like a lot of cards that can do that. Crowley's my favourite, but we are going to be summoned to the field and able to go for an Xyz monster. I don't believe they Waterlock you, I think they Xyz lock you, which for this deck is not a problem.
Completely okay. Ooh, we go into Light Dragon at Ignister as our first option here, which is seemingly something that you would put onto your end field, but not necessarily something you want to summon that early, to be honest.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't think a bad play, like you say, but it's an interesting choice to be made here. We do see the Graflario, goodness me, being summoned here to the field, activating its effect here as well. To grab something needed from the deck, it seems.
I like this though, because I think what Sam is doing here is he is playing around Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, because Light Dragon at Ignister is protecting your other Exceed monsters from card effect destruction, and we did get hit with Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in the very first game, so we know it's in the opponent's deck, and therefore very smart and heads-up play by Sam.
I do see one in Ricard's hand here as well, but also just protects it from the Blitzclique cards, because they can do all that stuff during the opponent's turn as well. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Very heads-up play, very intelligent move here. Going to be summoning here the Amalth by sending the with Raider sending the Clefairy to the graveyard and summoning a Power Page and Dooms as well.
Also, just correcting, I said Exceed monsters, but actually it is able to protect all of your monsters.
Just monsters.
It doesn't even need to be an Exceed monster. You detach an Exceed material from itself, but you don't need to protect an Exceed monster, so that's huge.
Goodness gravy, that is powerful. So we see the activation of the Yugioh from the graveyard here, equipping to the, I believe, the Power Page and Dooms. Which in and of itself will have a powerful effect to be able to sort of quick exit. I like that a lot with all the Power Patron, the little guys, the little dudes, because they can all do like a quick version of whatever they're.
They're basically apprentices of the strategy, right?
Absolutely, yeah. We see the Alarius into the field again here, seeing how Sam will progress his turn now.
So Richard, is saying, hold on. Maybe this is where I'm getting my revenge in the Nibiru department, as that could be a pretty powerful card, because that's nothing the Light Dragon Ignister can protect us from.
Absolutely, but we do see the destruction being added to hand here as well.
Yeah, that DoomZ destruction is huge, as we saw in Game 1, but if we actually do have Nibiru the Primal being able to just hinder Sam from ever establishing that Exceed monster and just getting rid of those monsters on the field, then the DoomZ destruction doesn't do anything. So it's not always Joel and Lockbird-esque. You do need your setup for it. So if Richard actually is able to get that out of the way, that would be very, very, very important and massive. But that is a rank 4 first, and that is going to be Merrymaker. There's Saga. Saga's effect will also resolve, so we're grabbing the Regulus here. If there is Nibiru, it gotta be there quick.
It's now or never with Nibiru at this point, because as soon as that Regulus hits the field, if it's the opponent, if it's your own turn, you can call by it. We're in Richard's turn here. This is Sam's turn. So we do see the equip of the Power Page and Dooms and the summon of the Regulus as well.
That worked out nicely. Now there is the Drastea, and I think that's the trend we saw from Sam. He is sequencing it in the way that he has the Regulus on the field before committing into that hand effect of DoomZ Drastea to make sure that his most powerful main deck monster is always resolving and protected.
There's also the nice part, which it does put that Dooms card in the Spell and Trap card zone, which you can destroy with the Dashrio, because you don't need to keep that equipped machine monster on the Regulus to keep it live and working.
Yeah, it only needs to send a Therion card, which the Regulus itself, it very much is. And that is now a big, big field, because the Sagas apparently is going to stay on the field as well, which shall not be forgotten, as Sagas is when what exactly was it? If a material is detached from a monster on the field, and that could be while you are protecting, for example, your Light Dragon and Ignister, you're able to target a card on the field and then destroy it or return it to the hand.
Oh, we see the spell mode, removing so many of the threats from Sam's field here, leaving with just the gigantic champion Sagas, which with no more material to attach is not going to do a lot at all here.
Oh boy, and now we go in, reveal the Harmon. This is crazy, because I think maybe I just saw it wrongly and thought the Ring Dragon of Ra's Sphere Mode looked like a Nibiru, but I think he has Nibiru as well. Oh no, or maybe it was just the Sphere Mode? Maybe, probably. My eyes are bad, I'm getting old, it probably was just the Sphere Mode that I was seeing.
No, they look, I've got glasses, they look similar enough, don't worry. So we see the activation of the Sacred Beasts spell here as well, able to search 3 and discard 2. So many of the Sacred Beast cards have such an insane amount of card value on them as well. It is all like search 3, send 2, add 3, summon 3. They do so many things in 3s, and therefore they're all so powerful.
It is the released that we are resolving now, and we're grabbing the whole family here again. 1, 2, 3. Interestingly enough, that I just saw there that Richard decided to keep in the Card of the Soul, because I think Card of the Soul, wait, it's always only interacting with your own life points, right? Because
it is.
Okay, so because for a second I was thinking, hey, your opponent is on 79, so you're kind of messing that all up, but of course, just focusing on your own life points, you are completely fine.
It is, I think, somewhat risky though, because you are giving your opponent a chance to do even a single point of burn damage, and it will mess up that card being about to activate. You wouldn't want it to be able to add Uriah.
And that does look like we have discarded the Blitzclique alternation there.
We have added the creator of the Sacred Beast to the hand here as well, sending that to summon the little guy. What's the little guy again? The Martyr of the Sacred Beast to the field, which lets you get another 2 Martyrs onto the field as well.
Huge, and that Blitzclique Alternator in this 60 card deck actually is a free off, which in regular Blitzclique decks it's not necessarily. But with that synergy, it does make so much sense. But you're just discarding it, and then you can, of course, capitalize on the graveyard effect of it. Sam, his whole field taken apart by that sphere mode, but here comes the Twin Twister. Heavy investment to only be using it on 1 card, but it is a valuable target that we're getting out of the way with this. With what we saw earlier is the Sacred Beast Thunderclap, which when basically resolving, just gets you 2 more Thunderclaps.
Absolutely.
Right away.
We see the DoomZ Red has been destroyed as well, which allows the destruction of the Martyr. That is actually quite impactful. That's a lot more interaction than I was expecting here, considering so much of the field was removed by that sphere mode.
True, true.
We see the Alternator activated here, though, to attempt to add a Blitzclique card from the deck to the hand, if I'm not mistaken.
That is going to be the field spell. Column is here. We're not hiding anymore in that 60 card pile.
No, absolutely not. We do see a handful of hand interactions from Richard there as well, so quite interesting to see how. I think there's a ghost. Yeah, there's a Ghost Ogre in there as well. I guess there's no place to use that during the opponent's turn because that Light Dragon Agnister was summoned so early on.
Yeah, I think so. That was very, very smart and heads up by Sam. We gotta say. Okay, we're searching for Uria. Discard Uria right away, though. I think that was because of the Hamon effect resolving there. Just search 1, discard 1. So basically just Foolish Burial for the Uria, which now in the graveyard immediately is going to come back through the effect of that summoner that we sent there earlier as well.
Which can immediately remove the spell and trap threat because, again, the moment that Uriah activates, you cannot respond.
Yeah. Okay, here's another gift for you. Take that token, make good use of it, or maybe I am going to make some use out of it as well, destroying those with my Blitzclique cards.
It is a very interesting way to blend these 2 decks. I think the synergies just come from like Hamon also being a Thunder type, maybe Whisker's level being sort of impactful here, I'm not sure. But there are interesting synergies and I can see why it's working. Obviously it's working so well in this situation.
Yeah. He may as well end up being 1st or 2nd place after Swiss if he does end up winning this match here. So another strong display by Richard, who at this point could be considered one of, if not the best Genesys player in all of Europe. He certainly will be if he wins this event.
And certainly the best Sacred Beast player.
Oh, yeah.
We see the summon of the Grain here as well. And the Uriah effect to destroy the spell and trap in the back row. That was the destruction, which not able to be used here, but it's worth getting rid of just in case.
That's true. So this is table 2 of the tournament, and you do of course see those 2 decks. I just want to mention though, table 1, Labyrinth in there as well. So Genesys seems to be a trap-friendly environment as well, as we have someone with that strategy, which is not super popular in the TCG Advanced constructed format right now. In Genesys though, you can make everything work.
Absolutely, there's plenty enough in Genesys it seems. But is this the Breakaway activated to activate the Alternator from the deck? Obviously very powerful card in and of itself, able to send that Grain back into the deck to search for another one. To alternate.
Alternate the state of the field. And Sam, after so confidently playing out his big combo there, is now left watching. That Sargas, which we were looking that effect up for, is not doing anything anymore because no materials are being detached. We are using the field spell, we are using Breakaway. That's the amazing thing about Blitzclique, that you're always getting those resources back into your hand, and then we can use the Breakaway next turn even as an interruption.
Absolutely. I've said it before, the Blitzclique deck doesn't necessarily seem to always be able to push the game every time. However, it's so good at dismantling the opponent's field and setting up one of its own, which when you're in a game of resources, of trying to make sure you have all the things you need, your field setup at the end of your turn is often a lot of your resources. Not all decks can keep going that grind game in the same way that Blitzclique can.
That's true, and I mean, Sam siding in those twin twisters, I gotta say, in DoomZ especially, it's so good, right? Even though if you're only targeting one card from your opponent, then having the chance to also target your very own DoomZ card there with the DoomZ Raiders and then destroying a monster through it, all of a sudden that twin twister leads to so many things, destroying not only a spell trap but also a monster ultimately.
Absolutely. I think we are just considering our plays. I don't know. Oh, it's back to Sam's turn now. Apologies.
Yeah, it is.
I missed that completely. So we have the mouth here activating as well, adding the Drestria to hand. Still with that sphere mode just sat on the field. I don't think it's doing
chilling.
much.
It's chilling.
It looks nice.
It's
big
pretty. Time. So how is DoomZ now outing that Uriah though, I'm wondering?
This is going to be difficult, I think, because it does destroy the spell trap, and therefore it's not maybe, because a lot of them do get effects when they get destroyed, so it's maybe not the end of the world. I think that Richard will have to really be careful about where he uses this interaction here.
I mean, how many trap cards does Richard have in the graveyard? Is there any even at the moment? There might not be.
I think there were, no.
I mean, there is one in the graveyard of Sam, though. We're counting for both players. There is now finally the Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit that Richard had since the very beginning, and this time it is resolving, completely shutting off what Sam was trying to do there. And Sam is just nodding, accepting his fate there, and Richard immediately is going to use... Are we using...
Not sure here.
Oh, apparently nothing.
Oh.
Signalizing there is nothing I can do here anymore.
I think maybe checking for a target which no longer existed.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that maybe... Were we trying to activate Amy, maybe?
I think so. Understandable. Happens to the best of us. We all have those moments where we forget that our targets are no longer in the deck. Maybe it was sided out. Maybe there just wasn't any in the first place. Either way, it happens.
That must have been the reason, though, because Amy Blitzclique, of course, in any kind of way, when you're destroying a card on your opponent's side or on the field, then you're allowed to search for a trap card from your deck. So even when you just use Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit there, that would lead to that card resolving if you had a trap card to search with it.
And we saw the Uriah effect to destroy the Power Patron Dooms in the spell and trap card zone. Still not deterred, we're activating Doom's Raiders, or adding, I should say, Doom's Raiders from the deck to the hand. Gonna keep playing. Again, Dooms is so good at playing through interruptions and interactions here, so it will be interesting to see how far it can get against this quite powerful field, and with its own dismantled field at that point.
We still keep on pushing. We still want to make sure that we're winning here, but the Sagas is not really too big of a threat. And then the Sphere mode eventually is going to go back to Richard as well at the end of this turn, so we need to put up something else next to it. Will the DoomZ Raiders be enough for that? We shall see.
That we will. Considering his plays here, we see Sam being very thoughtful, very careful. We are a bit pushed for time. It is round 3, but we are a little bit pushed for time here on this third game of the match. Activating the Doom's Raiders from the hand, attempting to activate the effect here as well, and met with a breakaway.
Of course, we knew that. That card was added back from the graveyard for its very own effect on the last turn. And we are now immediately also using the Amy Blitzclique, which of course was added back to the hand just that very moment. And Sam realizes there is no way to get back into this here. So Richard going second. And honestly, to me, surprising enough, that seems to be the theme so far here on that second day of the Genesys Championship live from Brussels. Going second, we do see a lot of them winning, actually. That
we do. I think the format is very kind to field breakers and that kind of thing. It doesn't. Yeah. So it is a format where going first, although obviously going first in any format does have that little bit of an advantage, but there are so many breakers that are available to you in Genesys that it does favor the going second player a little bit more than you'd expect. And it's easy to, especially with Sphere mode, break a field apart, as we just saw happen there.
Yeah, so that means we have seen a couple of those cards in the 60 card deck that Richard brought to this tournament, but there is still a lot of them that we haven't even seen yet, because that deck is plenty with cards to discover, and we will be able to possibly discover those later on as well, as Richard certainly is going to be one of our top 8 players. And speaking of top 8, that is going to be the next thing we have here on this second stream of the Genesys stream. So stay tuned, as top 8 will be coming next. But for the moment, we're going to hand you over to a short break.